Hey there everybody, Don Evans here from watchreport.com, and today I'm going to have a video on the new Seiko 5 sports lineup. This is the replacement to the now discontinued Seiko SKX line, that iconic SKX line, the affordable, the cheap but rugged, hard use, last 10 years or more Seiko SKX that a lot of us know and love. So they discontinued that. They replaced it with this Seiko, bringing back the Seiko 5 sports line, or Seiko 5 line in general. And well, there's a lot of things that are going to be very familiar, and there's a lot of differences as well. So before we get into that, let me go ahead and give you the full specifications on this piece. Now, the exact model number of this will be down in the description below. There are tons of different models of this Seiko SKX replacement, as I'll refer to it, but your dimensions are going to be basically the same as that Seiko SKX. You're looking at a 42.5 millimeter case, 13.6 millimeters thick, 46 millimeter lug to lug. These are drilled lugs. 22 millimeter lug width. It is an aluminum bezel and a hardlex crystal, as you would expect. The big upgrade here compared to the SKX, you're getting that 4R36 automatic movement, which has hacking and hand winding, 100 meters of water resistance, and this one on this mesh style silicone rubber strap is $295. So what is the question that we have here? Well, is this as good as, or can it be a replacement for the Seiko SKX? Let's find out. All right, before we get into this, if this is your first time here, welcome. I would suggest going ahead and hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. Why do I suggest that? Well, that way you'll never miss any of our content. And if you're on social media, which, hey, most of us are these days, go ahead and give us a follow over on Instagram. You can also hit a notification bell on Instagram. That way you'll be notified whenever we whenever we upload new content. And you could do that there for posts, stories, Instagram videos, etc. So if you're on social media, you're on Instagram, and you haven't seen our posts and you want to see them all and all the time, hit that notification bell to be notified. But all right, let's go ahead and get into this. And I don't want to make this a long video, so I'm going to get right into it. This is your same case dimensions, basically. It really hasn't changed from the Seiko SKX, but there are notable differences between this watch and its predecessor. So I'm going to start with the negatives. The negatives are, this only has 100 meters of water resistance instead of 200 meters, and it is not ISO rated. It does not have a screw-down crown, and I gotta be honest, I forgot that it didn't have a screw-down crown when this first arrived, and I was disappointed. I just feel it's still a dive style watch. It should have a screw down crown at least. Even with that 100 meters of water resistance, I would still like the screw down crown. That's me personally. The bezel action is not as solid as on the SKX. I will show you that here. The Seiko 5 logo, that is a negative and a downside. This logo is weird, and I know it's polarizing for a lot of people. It's at a weird angle. And I really haven't seen a lot of people that absolutely love it. Most people don't like it. And one of the other big factors, or big differences I should say, is this does not have a loom pip on that bezel. It is just a triangle. There's no loom on the bezel whatsoever. So getting into the positives, you are getting that 4R36 movement. Now, that is a nice upgrade from the movement that was in the Seiko SKX. This one hacks and hand winds. Obviously, it's going to be a little more accurate. It is available in a crazy amount of variations. When this first came out, it was available in over 27 different variations. But if you go to the Seiko USA website, which is where this was sent from, there's even more variations now. There's limited editions, special editions, military editions. It is crazy the amount of variations that you can get this watch. The basic ones are split into 5 styles though: sports, suits, specialist, sense, and street. So that is the variations that you can get. Different bracelet, your oyster, your Seiko oyster style 3-link bracelet. There's a bunch of those versions. There's ones like this. This is under the suits version, and you can get it either with this mesh style rubber strap or an actual mesh bracelet. And you're just going to I'll throw up some of the images here from the few different styles that they have. I'll take a sample of them. But there are so many variations of this watch. It is crazy. This also has applied markers. The Seiko SKX was always printed markers. As I said, lots of strap and bracelet options. It still has the drilled lugs, and the case dimensions and the overall design is still the same. So if you really like the Seiko SKX and for whatever reason you can't find a used one or pre-owned one that's in a price that you want, or you like it but you like some of the upgrades on this and the refresh that they've done on it, well, now there's a bunch of options for this. So let me just give you my perspective from it. I have always been a fan of the Seiko SKX. I've owned probably 10 of them over the years, and they would come and go, and I'd always end up buying another one. I've just always liked this case design. I love the way the crown integrates at the 4 o'clock with those crown guards. The case design, I guess, is just overused word here in this review, but iconic, and it really is. It's just such a great case design with the way that bezel is. The raised bezel and knurled bezel off that case. It's just so easy to grip and use, and it's also aesthetically pleasing. I've always liked the day and date feature that these watches have. It's something that I just like. I'm not a big complication guy for my own personal watches, but a day and a date is something that I really do dig. On this particular one, I like the blue color. This is a blue bezel with a blue dial. It does have a black strap. Maybe I would have liked the blue rubber strap to go along with the theme of this watch, but it is what it is. And of course, I could always purchase some other kind of strap to put on it. But I do really like the overall look because the basic look is still that classic Seiko SKX. But the downsides are, this isn't a dive watch anymore. It is a dive style watch. So is it a replacement for the Seiko SKX? The answer is no. That was an ISO certified dive watch. This is a dive style watch. There's no screw down crown. There's no loom pip. You do get an upgrade in movement, but it's only 100 meters water resistance. You don't get the nice Seiko dive case back. It's just not a dive watch, especially not the dive watch that the Seiko SKX used to be. So does this watch have a place, or is it just a disappointment? Well, that really, comes down to your perspective and what you want in a watch. If you just like the look of it, you don't dive, or you don't care about that it doesn't have a screw down crown or, the full dive rated water resistance, this is probably going to be fine for you. And honestly, I don't dive. I don't need a watch that's 200 meters water resistant. I just like the robustness of a watch that has the screw down crown and the water resistance, because then you know that you could, pretty much do whatever with it and you're not going to have any problems. This one should probably still hold up just fine, but it is what it is. As I said, bezel action on this is not that nice, solid, sturdy, clicky feel that the SKX line used to have. I do wish it did have the screw-down crown. Otherwise, I do like it. I really do like this. It is a silicone strap, but it doesn't seem to pick up the lint and the dirt like some silicone straps do, and it's very comfortable, and I do like the look. Overall, it's a Seiko, it's an affordable. As I said, there are a myriad of variations and options that you can get with this. And of course, because it's a Seiko, the loom is obviously excellent, as you can see here. On my 7.5-inch wrist, it fits just like a Seiko SKX. I really like how this feels and wears with the short lug to lug. So nothing to complain about there. If you want to see more about this, click the link in the description, take you over to Seiko USA website or watchreport.com, where I'll have a full written article. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.